Mic check, 1, 2. Sounds like we're good. Matty P, what's up, man? How about Matty P tuning in? What's up? What's going on? How you doing? What is up? Tuesday, December the 8th. Hope y'all are doing well. Jaden Harris, what's going on? Hope everybody's having a fantastic day thus far. Obviously, a lot to get into. Will everybody kind of file in, taking your questions, comments, calls as always? 843-790-3377. I'm kind of relieved we won't be on here for 2 hours. As much as I like talking to you guys, that was crazy yesterday, over 2-hour long stream, obviously tuning into the presser and all that good stuff. But obviously now we can kind of react to it, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377, guys. How's everything going here on a Tuesday? So we'll get after it, talking Shane Train, talking Shane Beamer. If you guys want to talk about the staff, Tyler Knoll says my guy called Dabo a clown on ESPN Upstate yesterday. I did. I had a rare opportunity that not many Gamecock fans get to have, that I would say probably most will not get to have, and that is called Dabo Swinney a clown on an ESPN affiliate radio station, and it felt good. It felt really, really good. And the context behind it was my good buddy Mark Ryan, which I think I told you guys yesterday that I knew that I was going to go on ESPN Upstate, and he was going to try to grill me over the Shane Beamer hire. And I went on there, and he asked me about, what did I think about, some Clemson fans said he loved the hire. What did I think about that? And I told him I didn't really give a damn what any Clemson fans thought, and that I thought Dabo Swinney was a clown the day he was hired. I think he's a clown now, and granted, he might win, but he's Butch Jones with a better roster. So I got to go on there and say that. It felt really good. I'm sure I pissed a lot of people off, and I'm really happy I did it. So, yeah, again, that was I think I got to speak for all of Gamecock Nation saying that. So, felt good. Felt really good. H-Man998, what's going on, man? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Again, 843-790-3377. That's going to be the number if you guys do want to call in. I do want to show you guys... By the way, I do want to show you the latest. So merch is rolling, by the way. I'll show you guys. You're tuning the live stream. I'll show you the merch in case you're interested. I actually just dropped a new t-shirt like 5 seconds ago, like literally. If you guys do want to see it, I don't know. It's just like every idea that's popping in my head, we're kind of rolling with it and kind of rolling the dice. You already see the Beamer Ball stuff, but now the latest, the Shane Storm t-shirt. The Storm has hit Columbia. The Shane Storm. Let me know what you guys think about that. Brand new tee that literally just dropped. So brand new t-shirt that just dropped. Let's see. Sean O'Brien, my wife is getting pissed the amount of times I keep saying Shane Train around the house. Yeah, no, I hear you. I feel like I've said it 1,000 times myself. Gamecock Weatherman, so we all rooting for Oklahoma to lose so he can recruit quicker. No, I think I'm actually pulling for him to win. Because I think he can sell that on the recruiting trail. Oklahoma winning a Big 12 title, I think that would be something cool to sell to recruits. You know what I mean? Even though it's not at South Carolina, it's still, big time to get a ring. So, anyway. So, yeah, guys, that's the new shirt. If you want to check it out, it's on tsus.store. I appreciate all the love, man. We've sold a ton of T-shirts. Really, really good stuff. Again, that's on tsus.store. We also dropped some hoodies. As you guys probably saw on social media, we got the Beamer Ball tees, we got the Beamer Ball hoodies, we got the all aboard the Shane Train merch as well. We got the wheels on the bus go round. This is one hadn't gotten enough love, I think. This is a fire shirt. This one hadn't gotten enough love. You guys go check that out. Again, okay. All right, I'm done plugging the merch, but the merch is on a roll right now. The merch is on a roll. So appreciate the love, guys. Appreciate you supporting the business, supporting the brand, and obviously the merch as well. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. If you guys do want to call in here on a Tuesday, got a lot to get into. Here on a Tuesday, guys. So again, taking your questions. Tyler Knoll, the Shane Storm hoodie. Yo, I'll probably throw up the hoodie as well. Yeah, I'll throw it up in a hoodie version if you're interested. Yeah. Lance Player, can we get the Shane Storm in garnet? I'll ask my guy. We should be able to do it. I don't know why that would be like a huge issue, but I will let you know for sure. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the phone lines here. Yo, what's going on? How are you?
What's up, Christopher? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. How's it feel to have Dean?
It feels good. I'm happy with the hire. I mean, obviously time will tell if it was the right move, but I think it's a great hire. I think South Carolina got the guy they needed to get, and I'm glad that South Carolina got a little creative and went outside the box and didn't kind of go with a retread hire that I think a lot of people either wanted them to do so or thought they would do. So yeah, I'm happy overall with the hire, man. I think obviously it doesn't mean everything that he crushed the press conference, but you have to love what you heard if you're a Gamecock fan, especially after the last 5 years with Muschamp and things not always being smooth sailing, and not just even on the field, behind closed doors with the relationship between the players and the fans. And I think yesterday was a breath of fresh air hearing Shane Beamer. I'm excited for the future. And, like I said, only time will tell. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done, but, I'm excited to see who he brings in as his OC and his DC and just kind of go from there. So.
Oh, yeah. And there's I don't know about the running back situation because, I mean, of course, we got Kevin Harris just went over 1,000 yards this season. I mean, he'll be back. But a lot of people keep forgetting, I mean, we got a 5-star coming back. And Marshawn Lloyd. And, I mean, I think that's going to be the most dynamic duo in college football because, I mean, you got a person like Kevin Harris that runs behind his pads. And then, I mean, also you got Fenwick, and then you got Marshawn coming in there. And, I mean, I just think that's going to be the best duo in college football.
Yeah, one of the best. I mean, it's going to be one of the best, man. I mean, South Carolina's in good hands at the running back position. Again, I don't know if it's going to be, because it's crazy. I still think as good as Harris was this season, if Marshawn Lloyd is as advertised, he should be the number one back. And that's kind of scary. I mean, when you really think about it. Either way, though, it's going to be a 1A, 1B situation. Both are going to touch the football a ton. And like you said, yeah, I mean, South Carolina, assuming Marshawn Lloyd comes back fully healthy and, hasn't lost much of a step, maybe half a step, but still, they're in good hands at the running back position. Like you said, Rashad Amos looked good. Deshaun Fenwick's a solid player. The running back position is the one position group offensively that I think we can all take a step back and say we feel really, really good about. So, yeah, I'm excited because, again, I expect South Carolina offensively to go more spread, up-tempo, modern type of offense, but the running game is going to continue to be a big part of the Gamecocks offense. There's no question.
Oh, yeah. And what kind of offense do you see Shane Beamer bringing in? I mean, do you see him bringing in the same offense that Lincoln Riley is going into right now at Oklahoma, or you see him coming back a little bit and not run the same offense that Lincoln's running?
I think he'll definitely pull some things from Lincoln Riley. I think he'll most likely try to mirror that style. And, it's funny. I've actually, just to kind of spoiler alert for Thursday's show, we do have, I talked to my buddy this morning who actually is not on the beat, but he's a sports radio talk show host in Norman, Oklahoma. So a good buddy of mine, he's covered the Sooners. He's extremely familiar with Shane Beamer. And I asked him that exact same question. And, he expects he expects Shane Beamer to bring that offense to South Carolina. But, again, the thing that he said, people don't realize about Oklahoma because they think of Oklahoma, the Big 12, throwing the ball all around, you know what I mean? They run the football a lot. Like, they have a really, really good running game, fantastic offensive line.
And they run it good.
Yeah, and they run it well. They got a great O-line. They got a great O-line. They got great backs. They got talent. So, don't think that, again, it's going to be we're going to throw it 60, 70 times a game. This isn't the air raid like Mike Leach. I fully expect South Carolina to run the football still. But, yeah, I definitely think it's going to be more of a spread, up-tempo, using the quarterback as an athlete, getting the ball in space to your playmakers, much more of a modern offense. It's not going to look anything, in my opinion, like you saw this year. It's not going to be the whole under center I formation. I just, unless it's in like specific situations that call for it, but that's not going to be, it's going to look much different, I think, than what Mike Bobo did. So will it exactly mirror Oklahoma's offense? I don't think so, because you don't have those caliber of athletes right now. And I loved what Shane Beamer said yesterday in the presser as well. And it's exactly what I wanted to hear. He's not so much focused on running his system no matter what. He's focused on taking the 11 starters offensively, or just the guys on his offense, and catering a system around their skill set to get the absolute most out of it. And that was just music to my ears to hear that, because I think with Will Muschamp, we saw a lot. I feel like a lot of times it was more so they were stubborn and hard-headed, wanting to run a system versus taking the players on your roster and best fitting a system around them. And that's the only reasoning behind a guy like Dak Joyner not seeing the field, a guy like Luke Doty not seeing the field more early in the season. It's the only reasoning behind it. It just makes no sense otherwise. So I'm excited for that. I think Shane Beamer, he's going to do that. He's going to put guys in position to be successful. But again, I do believe it's going to be much more modern, up-tempo. This is a guy that's been in the Big 12. He understands the value of points. He literally said that yesterday. So I think we're going to try to score a lot of points. You have to in college football, man. You got to average 35 plus per game to have a realistic shot to compete for 8, 9, 10, 11 type wins, type seasons. So, and I think Sal's going to do that. But I appreciate the call, man. Thanks so much.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Take care. Thanks. Yeah, good call. 843-790-3377. Guys, one thing I do want to touch on because I see people talking about it. I do not think Joe Brady is coming to Columbia. So let's just put that to bed. I saw the rumors, and I don't think it's happening personally. I really don't. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. So, but I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. I think it's all rumors. I think it's all hearsay at this point. Again, that would be the home run of all home runs if you could somehow pull Joe Brady from the Panthers back to college football to South Carolina. But again, listen to what I just said. Pull him away from the Panthers in the NFL to South Carolina to be an OC. Joe Brady is on the fast track to be a head coach in the NFL, most likely. So let's see. We got a text on the text line here from Sean. What role or influence do you see Frank Beamer having within the program, seeing as Shane alluded to some type of, quote, heavy involvement, end quote, with his dad during yesterday's presser? Yeah, I think more so being around as a mentor for sure. I mean, why not? Why not use the resources you have available? And I think he'll certainly do that with his father being an all-time legend. I think all of us would do the same. So why not? Let's see. Chad Taylor, but why did we recruit Joyner and Doty if they didn't fit the system? Dude, I don't know. You're asking questions I simply don't have the answers to. Why do you recruit guys like Joyner and Doty, but then also guys like Helinski and a guy like Bentley, and then you bring in a guy like Colin Hill? Those are not the same. So which way are you trying to go? You're trying to run an RPO system with a guy like Ryan Helinski who can't run. Well, how much sense does that make? So there are a lot of loose ends with the last staff, man. There was a lot of loose ends. I can't answer all those questions. Courtney Washington, what's going on? Jonathan Barnes. I think Joe Brady may have just been one of the head coaches that Shane said reached out to him to suggest coaches. Yeah, but again, there's been a lot of that stirring going on as far as is Shane Beamer is Joe Brady coming to Columbia? I don't see it happening. I think it's a fun rumor to run with and to be awesome and cool to see, but realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's a little unrealistic. So let's see. Trace says, are we good enough to win next year? What we have, I think getting to a bowl game is very realistic. I think it's very possible. Getting to 6-6 or better, I think is very realistic for this team. I still believe there is talent on this roster. And you have a coach now that hopefully can get the most out of the talent he has on the roster. So with that being said, I think 500 or better minimum is the expectation for next year. Let's see. So we just got a text on the text line. Beamer is talking on WFNZ here locally in Charlotte, North Carolina today at 1:15. Just a heads up from Ryan Clark. Ryan, thank you. I did not know that. I will definitely be sure to tune in. Jonathan Moffrey, what's the most realistic OC in your mind? I keep hearing that name, Garrett Riley, man. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say. There's so many different names they could go with, and I'm sure again that's something that's going to continue to evolve. So let's see. Nick Stedman, adding a dual threat quarterback to an RPO scheme is pretty deadly. Pick your poison. No, I agree. I think you need a dual threat quarterback to your RPO scheme. I'm saying it didn't make sense when South Carolina was running an RPO with a guy like Ryan Helinski. He's not dual threat. He's not even close. So that's what blew my mind. So Tim Rucker, who do you think would be a great hire at DC? I've talked about Barry Odom. Hey, Derek Mason from Vandy. Why not? I know people talk about the guy Skaggs from Coastal Carolina. The guy talking about Bateman. Why not? So it's tough to say again because there's just so many candidates. Like who's available? Who wants the job? Who doesn't? I can't answer all those questions. So let's see. Cody Gaskins, do you believe they're giving Beamer an open checkbook to hire who he wants? I do, yes. I think they are letting him go out there and get the best possible staff. Yes. So. Let's see. Let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Let's see here. Trace, does Bobo stay? I don't think so. At this point, I don't think Mike Bobo is retained. Again, I could be wrong, and that's one that was rumored he might stick around. I don't think Mike Bobo will be back. That's just my gut feeling. Let's see. Somebody just sent something in the text line. Oh, okay, yeah, WFNZ. Yep, Shane Beamer. Okay. Yep. I used to listen to old WFNZ when I lived in Charlotte. Used to tune into that. Good stuff. They do a good job. They still haven't invited me on, though, so I'm a little hurt over now. Whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Tommy McClellan says big no on Bobo. Yeah, I don't think they keep Bobo. I don't think they keep Bobo. Whoops. I do not think they keep Bobo. Anthony Belt, Chris, I'm so excited about the Shane train, the commit he made, putting an offense together that fits players' skill set. Awesome hire, go Gamecocks. I agree. Again, that was a breath of fresh air. That entire presser yesterday, a breath of fresh air. Again, there were a lot of takeaways. I'm probably going to talk about that on the podcast tomorrow as well, briefly. And that's another reminder, guys, if you haven't done so, check out the podcast drop this morning, episode 334. Alex McGrath joined me for most likely the final time, by the way. Most likely the final time of the 2020 or for this football season, because season's over and, we'll kind of see if I bring him back on. But, most likely it was the last you will see of Alex McGrath or hear of Alex McGrath until next season. And Alex, I do want to say, too, here publicly on this forum, Alex McGrath, a fantastic human being, awesome dude. I'm genuinely grateful and appreciative of his time he's taken all season long. A great friend of mine, someone I'm blessed to call a friend. And I appreciate you guys showing love to that content, because I think the conversations have been very productive, and it's great to get Alex's insight from a guy that maybe did not play a ton, but has literally worn the jersey. I think it's invaluable insight to get. So appreciate you guys loving and supporting that. Courtney Washington says, where are the t-shirts? TSUS.store. I made it as simple as I possibly could. I will literally even put it in the chat. TSUS.store. All of the Beamer merchandise is on there. Let's see. Justin Gant, rumor. Frank Beamer working heavily with Shane Beamer to bring Bud Foster in as defensive coordinator. Would be a big hire for the Gamecocks. We'll see if it happens. There's a lot of rumors flying around right now. T.I. Barnes, who, if any, do you think hits the transfer portal from Carolina? I think Shiloh Sanders 100% will be gone. Wouldn't surprise me to see Dak hit the transfer portal. Outside of that, man, it's really on an individual basis. I thought maybe Jordan Burch, but I kind of didn't realize that Shane Beamer recruited him and Boogie Huntley at Oklahoma. So you think they have the relationship there? Why not? Why not? Yeah, why wouldn't he stick around? So we'll see. But it's tough to say, man, on an individual basis. I think Shiloh will be gone because I think he'll go play for his dad at Jackson State. I do. Jamie Robinson is gone. Somebody else says, maybe Jamie. That would hurt, but maybe Jamie. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Chris says, don't you think the players will respond so much better to a coach that actually wants to be a Gamecock? I just think the entire culture will change, and you'll see the way the players act change, the way they interact with fans change. So I definitely think things will change behind closed doors. I really a lot, by the way. Yeah, I think the culture will change a ton. Renee says, do you think there's a future place for Lattimore to return? Future place for, yes, I do. 110%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think anytime Marcus Lattimore wants to come back, he's welcome. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Jonathan Moffrey, do you think any seniors will return? Again, individual basis, really, really tough to say. But I would say this, unless you're just tired of playing college football, and if Shane Beamer wants you back, why would you leave? If you're not an NFL guy, why would you leave? You know what I mean? Like, so I think guys like Shi Smith and Sadarius Hutcherson will be gone because I think they are NFL guys. But outside of that, I mean, tough, again, I don't know why you dip out if you're not going to the league. I mean, why not enjoy one more year of college football? So, Andrew Simpson was looking at another media take on Shane, and they don't think he'll be able to recruit as well as he did before. Already have haters and doubters. Yeah, it is what it is. I really don't care what anybody outside of Gamecock circles thinks about this hire. I just really don't. You know what I mean? I think South Carolina, like I said yesterday, I think it's a unique job, and we need to stop pretending like South Carolina is like every other job. I think it's a unique job, and you need a unique person. And I for one, am just so happy that South Carolina did not go with the typical hire. They didn't go hire Hugh Freeze. You know what I mean? Like they didn't go with the hire that everybody thought they should get. Like South Carolina, you need to be unique. You need to be creative. It's not easy to win here. So because it's not easy to win here, you got to think outside the box. And the Shane Beamer hire was that. And you got to get somebody that fits this place. And especially, again, after everything that happened with Will Muschamp and the last regime and the way that things really crumbled in this 2020 season, not just on the field, but off the field as well. You had to get a guy that could come in and unite this fan base, unite this program, build the culture back up, reset the standard. Shane Beamer was that guy 110%. So, Brittany Wilson Wilbanks, any word on Hill leaving? No, I have not heard anything. I'm sure many of you are awaiting that word. I'm sure many of you are hoping he leaves. I think he'll probably be gone if I had to guess. But no, there's been no official word on that. Jonathan Barnes, why wouldn't you want Marcus Lattimore as a coach? I never said I wouldn't. I would love Marcus Lattimore as a coach. I think that'd be awesome. Running backs coach, can you imagine? Brandon Baker, 929, with the previous staff, do you think they drove away alumni such as Marcus Lattimore? It's tough to say. Again, I'm not in the building. Wouldn't surprise me, though. I'll just say that. Would not surprise me. C. Mill _95, do you think Connor Shaw stays on as quarterback coach? I hope so, yes. I think 110% Connor Shaw will be retained. Yep. I thought he was going to be retained either way, but it's certainly with Shane Beamer, recruited the guy. They know each other very well. I mean, heck, Shane Beamer was talking about Connor Shaw, called him a few weeks prior to talk about him getting the job. So Shaw wanted him to get it too. So, yeah, I think 110% Connor Shaw will be retained on as quarterback's coach, yes. Let's see. William Shue, Beamer's love for Carolina will bring better players, and I believe in. It's not just that they'll be better players, but it's like Perry Orr said to me. You can do a lot more when you have a bunch of guys who are bought in. You can do more with less when you have guys that are bought in. So I think more so it's about getting guys in here that want to be Gamecocks. It's literally the quote that I posted this morning. Of Shane Beamer saying, guys that want to be here, guys that want to represent this great program, take great pride in being a football player at the University of South Carolina. I want a team that understands what an amazing opportunity and how special it is to be a Gamecock. Those are the guys that we're going to target. Those are the guys we're going to recruit and have a bunch of guys out there that are grateful to be a Gamecock as I am. That, boom, drop the mic type of moment. Loved hearing it. That was awesome for him to hear him say that. So, Brent Brooks, what's up, guys? What's the latest in the OC and the DC hires? I don't think Joe Brady is happening. I'm sure you've seen that a ton. Outside of that, man, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I really don't know. It's all hearsay. It's all rumors at this point. I'm sure we'll find out sooner rather than later. But, yeah, just kind of have to wait and see at this point. Let's see. Ryan says, all Gamecocks should be excited for the future. Our coaches are younger now and can relate a lot more. Thoughts on bringing in Riley from SMU as our OC? I think that'd be a home run, slam dunk type of hire. I'd love that. Yeah, I would absolutely love that. Let's see. Josh says, any thoughts on Ellis Johnson possibly returning on defensive position coach or analyst role? Yeah, I mean, it's rumored that he's going to come back and be in that analyst role. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great. The more legendary coaches that Shane Beamer can pull from, I see that as nothing but a positive. So, Andrew Simpson, here's a great question. Do you have anything in place where I can send a tip or donations to the show? Yeah, so I'm actually getting that set up right now, believe it or not. It's ironic you ask about that. Yeah, we will have like a Cash App / PayPal available for people who just want to support small business. Obviously, we're in the holiday season. It's the giving season, so I want to provide that opportunity to people. So, Andrew, I appreciate that, and I will – the second – obviously I'm doing the Daily Crow every day, so if you tune in again, I'm going to put that link on the website. I'm going to put that out there on our social media channels, and, of course, here I'll promote it or let you guys know on the Daily Crow. So if you just hang tight with me, going to have that done by end of day today. I will have that done by end of day today. So, Andrew, I appreciate you even asking, man. I appreciate that a lot. And the Patreon's there. And the Patreon's available as well. But I'm going to make a separate thing as well for people who just simply want to make a donation. If you want to, that would be great. Again, support the small business. Again, it's the time of giving. So, and I'm definitely a believer in giving and tithing and paying it forward and all that good stuff. But again, I appreciate you guys just even tuning in, man, consuming the content, showing love, even asking that question like that. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Let's see. Anthony says, remember Gamecock fans, 2 or 3 star players with right coaches develop players can turn them into 4 and 5 stars, in my opinion. Yeah, and we saw it. We saw it with Steve Spurrier. You get the right guys in there that it doesn't matter if they're a 3-star. You get them in there. They got the right attitude. They play with that chip on their shoulder. 3-star play like a 4 or 5 real quick. And if you get guys in there that are like some other guys we saw that I'm not going to name by name, but some guys that are 4 and 5-star prospects, that it's about them, they're eye guys, it's not about the team, you don't get the most out of them, just bottom line. And I think we've seen that. I think we've seen both sides of that spectrum to this point. So, Phil, what's going on, man? Great to see you. Great to hear from you. Would love to have Derek Mason as DC. The guy's fiery and a motivational coach. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I mean, why not? Why not? Brayson Haney, here's a great one. Thoughts on Dutch Fork High receivers coach Jason Barnes, former Carolina receiver, joining Beamer's staff. I would love that. I would love to see Jason get in Columbia. He's done a really good job at Dutch Fork. I'm still trying to get Jason on the show. I know he's been busy. I've been busy, but trying to get him on the show. But I would love that hire. Would love that hire. Aaron says a hungry 3 stars better than an entitled 4 or 5 every single day. I agree. Agree 110% again. I agree. So, yep. Jonathan Moffrey, Hal Josh Pham was a 4-star and Alshon was damn near unranked. I have to correct you, sir. Alshon was not damn near unranked. Alshon was a very highly regarded prospect. I think he was, I'm pretty sure he was at least a 4-star. But I get what you're trying to say. Yes. Nick Stedman _ former player Addison Williams is DB coach for Coastal 2 would be nice. Yep. I agree. Get all the Gamecocks in. Get them in. Let's see. Cody Collins, Beamer likes to shop local. Indeed. Shop local. Support small business. Yes. Yes, sir. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. If you guys want to voice your questions, comments, whatever, 843-790-3377. Jonathan in Houston, I absolutely love the hire of Coach Beamer. With the talent we have on our current roster, I see 6 to 7 wins because he will make them more fundamentally sound. I think it's possible. I think going at least 500 is very doable next year. I do. I mean, you think of, with all due respect to these teams, because I'm assuming we're going to go back to a normal schedule. You have 3 built-in wins in the non-conference. And again, all due respect to them, but what is it? Eastern Illinois. Eastern Illinois, I believe East Carolina. And what's the other one? Who else do we play? One other one. You should have 3 built-in non-conference wins. After that, you look at Vandy, that's 4. I think you turn the page from the Muschamp era. I'm going back to thinking Kentucky every year should be a win. That's 5. You look at a program like Tennessee, that's 6. You look at Mizzou, that could be 7. 6 to 7 wins are on that schedule next year. Oh, Troy. Then, yeah, Troy's a dub. Easy dub. Well, again, all due respect to Troy. Those should be dubs. Troy, ECU, and Eastern Illinois should be dubs. No questions asked. So, Sean O'Brien, Willie B needs to be full of Beamer ball and Shane Train TSUS shirts opening game next season. Hell yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be so awesome. Brandon says, what type of offense are we expected to see under Coach Beamer? Again, I think it's going to be more of a modern spread up-tempo type of offense. But I do think South Carolina, again, is going to continue to run the football. You've got those fantastic backs in Lloyd and Harris. Because, again, I think people get, again, they get confused in the sense that you say spread up-tempo. They think, oh, pass, pass, pass. No, a lot of running game. There's going to be a lot of running game. I think it's going to be a very balanced attack, but much more modern than what we've seen this year for sure. Terrell Campbell Sr., why do you think Shiloh hits the portal? I just think he'll probably want to go play for his dad. I think that makes the most sense. His dad's at Jackson State, and that's just my gut feeling tells me. I think he'll transfer and go play for his dad, but never know. Let's see. Anthony, appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lance Players, yes, sir. Appreciate the support on the store, man. The merch is rolling right now. The merch is rolling. Andrew Simpson, local talent went from 30-something in the top 350 to only 14 recently. Insane talent has been on decline since 05 to 2011 years. Yeah, so I know I agree. I mean, the in-state talent this year has been brutal. So. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Somebody asked, where'd the question go? Sean O'Brien, Simeon Price pickup would be so solid. Yeah, it's interesting with Price. He's got Oklahoma and South Carolina in his top 5. So you'd like to think we have a decent shot at getting him. Nick Stedman, bro, we could go 3-5 in conference and still go 7-6. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's crazy. It's, I hate to say it's like you fluff it up. I hate to phrase it that way, but it really does kind of fluff it up when you play that a normal schedule and you have 3 gimme games. And I think somebody, and I love Shane Beamer's attitude. We'll play anybody anywhere. We'll lace them up. We don't care. And I'd love to see those big time matchups. But at the same time, if you're South Carolina, I have no problem with scheduling 3 other cupcake games. Because at this point, you're playing Clemson, who's a top 5 team. You're playing Georgia, who's a top 5 team. You're playing A&M, who's all of a sudden figured it out under Jimbo Fisher. You're playing Florida, who's got it back together. Like, your schedule's hard enough. Like, we don't need to go out there and beef up the schedule. Schedule's hard enough. We don't need to do it. Give us 3 automatic wins to get the season going. Like, seriously. So, Lee says, tuning in from Texas, just found your show. Great job. Keep it up. Go Gamecocks. Hey, Lee, appreciate it, man. All the way from Texas. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm missing a lot of questions. Let me go back. Justin Gant, I see a lot of Clemson fans talking about the hire of Beamer. I think they're starting to worry about Carolina in the future. I'm so ready to see how many players come through the portal from OU. Yeah, I think it's possible. It's funny. Again, spoiler alert. For Thursday's show, normally I have an interview with a former Gamecock or whatever. Actually, for Thursday's show, though, very excited for you guys to hear the perspective of a good friend of mine. He's in Norman, Oklahoma. He's a sports show. He's a radio talk show host on a sports show in Norman, Oklahoma. He talks Big 12 football, Oklahoma football. So he's obviously very familiar with OU, Shane Beamer. So I got his perspective for the Thursday show, which, you guys will hear on Thursday. But I actually asked him about that. I was like, in jest, just like, hey, man, you guys got any receivers that might want to transfer over? And he actually talked about there's 2 5-star wide receivers that came in the 2018 class They haven't played a ton. I mean, it's not out of the question that maybe Shane Beamer will try to lure a couple guys over. I mean, why not? So, because I mean, heck, anybody who's a talented, athletic wide receiver, come on down. We need you. We need guys. We need bodies. So, we need bodies at the wide receiver position. So, let's see. Nick Stedman, love how you held your ground on the Clemson questions on offsides with Mark Ryan. Yeah, like I said, that's one of the reasons I like going on Mark's show, and I think that's one of the reasons Mark likes having me on his shows. He knows that, yes, he will jab, but I will jab back. I will hold it down for the Gamecock Nation, and yeah, like I said, I had a great opportunity yesterday to go on an ESPN affiliate radio station and call Dabo Swinney a clown, and I know that's something that many Gamecock fans wish they had the opportunity to do, so I wanted to make sure I threw that in there, and felt really good. Felt better than I thought it would, to be honest. Felt really good. So, did somebody say, let's see, I want to go back and see. I see somebody mention, okay, here you go. Dusty803, where is Brad Lawing? So, I had Brad Lawing on my show. And you know what? That'd actually be a great guy to get back on as Brad Lawing because he'd probably have a lot of insight on Shane Beamer. Anyways, Brad Lawing, though, you're asking about Brad Lawing. I don't see Lawing making a return, guys. Honestly, when I had him in studio and had him talking with him, I think he's a guy that he, doesn't have health issues necessarily, but he's getting older. I don't know that I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know that Coach Lawing would want to make a return. Again, I could be wrong, but I wouldn't bank on that one. Phil says, are you a talented Oklahoma football player that isn't getting a lot of playing time? Call 1-800-BEAMER. Dude, I might have to make like a little infomercial for that. Little infomercial. I can't say the word infomercial. There we go. Yeah, make a little commercial for it. Yeah, seriously. Thomas Hallman, the best part of the Beamer hire was the salty Vatek fans on Twitter. Seeing people salty on Twitter in general is it's just heartwarming at times. It really is. I love seeing the people that freak out. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. If you do want to call in, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. That is the call-in number. If you guys want to call in, talk Gamecocks, talk Beamer, talk coordinators, you want to wrap up the 2020 season. By the way, guys, really quickly, I'm about to put up the little question box or whatever, but if you have questions for the Thursday show, please send those in. The Thursday show I'm really excited about. That's going to be our postseason awards show. So very excited. Going to hand out awards for the 2020 season. Even through a 2-8 year, there's still awards to hand out. Team MVP, biggest surprises. Hey, best interview as well through the season. Got a lot to talk about. I'm really excited. The postseason awards show is a really, really good time. And I'd love to get you guys feedback on the season as a whole and maybe your grades as well. If you want to grade the season, offense, defense, special teams, each position unit, we could do that as well. I think that'd be fun. So I've got some ideas for this week to wrap up the season. But, yeah, shoot those via DM, via social media. I'll put the question box on Instagram as well and the posts or wherever you guys can leave your questions in the comments. But, yeah, excited for the podcast this week. Like I said, had a great conversation Monday. We had Perry Orth, obviously talking Shane Beamer. Today, Alex McGrath, obviously, great combo with him. Tomorrow, probably going to be takeaways from the presser as well as some things I want to see Shane Beamer address off the jump in his first couple weeks, I guess, on the job. Kind of still figuring that out. And then Thursday, postseason award show, and then we're just kind of rolling basketball as well. We got Wofford on Thursday night. A lot going on. There's still a lot going on. By the way, if you guys did not see, the Wofford game Thursday night is at 6, not at 7. Was originally scheduled for 7. It's now at 6. That game is at CLA, by the way. So I don't know if any of y'all are going, but which I probably will not be. I doubt that I make it to really any basketball games. Maybe the Clemson game, but it's just with the reduced capacity and all that, and trying to cover, obviously covering the games. I don't know that I'll make many. Hopefully I make it to 1 or 2. I'd like to go to 1 or 2 games, but I doubt I'll make it to a ton because last year I had season tickets. I was literally in the building every single game. So, Ashley Topper, Kevin Harris MVP. Yeah, I mean, without spoiling it, yeah, Kevin Harris is going to be the MVP. There's no question. That cat's out of the bag. There's no doubt. Thomas Hallman, I think you give Helinski and Joyner an award for loyalty. I don't think Helinski was given a fair shot to compete, and he didn't drop and opt out. He kept going to practice, etc. And Dak is Dak. Yeah, definitely. Let me look. I can tell you guys what the awards are because I did the award show last year, and I kind of forgot what all. Definitely come back. I saw Eric Fryer. Eric, I saw you come back player of the year, Jalen Dickerson. Yeah, Jalen, that dude, man, with that pick, battling all the adversity he did over the last year, couple years, really, with the injuries and just never being able to stay healthy. Let's see. Where is the award show from last year? Maybe this is it right here. I think this is it. Yep, postseason award show. So we'll have overall MVP, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, comeback player of the year, most improved player, coach of the year, the Are You Kidding Me player of the year, inspired by Todd Ellis, biggest surprise, biggest disappointment, the best moment from the season, the worst I hate myself moment, the best guest, and maybe I'll add some more, but that's probably going to be it. That's a lot of awards to hand out. So, let's see. Tyler Noel MVP is none than the bus, Kevin Harris. Yeah, I mean, no doubt. No doubt Kevin Harris is the MVP. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. Trace, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the love, my friend. Travis Ford, why we can't talk Corn Bentley? I know he was not here 15 years ago, but he is the most exciting O in college ball at CCU. Learned it at Burns from Bobby. I mean, I wouldn't be totally opposed. I think there's probably better candidates that are more experienced. And if you're going out there and trying to realistically get the best option, is he the best option? That's my question. Hey, man, what's going on? How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Doing well. Thanks for asking.
Good. I got one question about the Shane Beamer, the excitement over him.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, do we think that the excitement is because he's tied to Steve Spurrier and the success that he had over the last 3 years?
I mean, I think some of it, yeah. I think a great deal of it. And I think that kind of goes back to, though, you know, we talk about the culture fit and somebody who understands the culture at South Carolina. Well, yeah, that's where a lot of the excitement comes from, is that he was around then. You know what I mean? He's seen South Carolina at its best. He knows what South Carolina looks like when it's a well-oiled machine. He went to Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like, he understands that. So, yeah, I think that plays into it for sure. I mean, just it gives you hope that not only because we feel like it can be done, right? Because it's been done before, but it's not only that. It's we feel like it can be done, and we literally have a head coach that was on the staff when it was done. So yeah, I think that definitely fuels a lot of the excitement. Yeah, for sure.
But isn't that added pressure to him because we have the expectations of what he's going to do? We think that he can do because he was with Spurrier instead of letting him take his own path. Because if he doesn't do well, then what?
Well, I would say this. I don't think the expectations are unfair by South Carolina fans, because I don't think anybody's expecting Shane Beamer saying, "Oh, you got to win 10 games by year 3." I just, dude, and I'll tell you this. This is why I've said too. I think this is the perfect situation for Shane Beamer, because he's coming into a situation, man. I know for me personally, just make game day fun again. I mean, that's really where. Just start with that. The biggest thing with Will Muschamp, man, it wasn't that. I don't think the expectations were crazy sky high for Muschamp, and that's why he failed. He failed because he was never able to show progress. I think South Carolina fans will be patient with Shane Beamer. They will give him time to build this thing. But again, you have to show progress, right? You're making too much money to go 4-8 and then follow it up with a 2-8. You just are. You know, I don't care what the scenario is. So I don't think there's going to be unrealistic expectations. We all understand the challenge that is winning at South Carolina and what Steve Spurrier did. Hey, what Spurrier did from 11-13, the odds are is that it'll never be done again. I mean, that type of run, dude. And I don't say that, you know, I think when fans hear that, they say, oh, you don't believe it can be done. Bro, that would have been a historic run for anybody. Not just South Carolina. Like what South Carolina did from 2010 to 2013, There were only like 2 other teams that did that during that run. Like that was unprecedented what they did. So, as many games as they won at least. So, I don't think the expectations are going to be too unrealistic. I mean, listen, it's going to be like with every other coach, though. You get to year 3, you get to year 4, you're starting to say, okay, like let's start to see, let's go from that 6, 7, 8 win plateau to now we start hitting 9. Now we start maybe flirting with 10. I've said before, I think realistic expectations for the South Carolina football program, and I know Shane Beamer would echo this, if not say even higher, but realistically, I think South Carolina can be a program where you win 7 to 8, maybe 9 games a year. You average 8 wins a year on average, and every 2 to 3 years, we'll say, you either have a veteran-laden team, you have the right quarterback, your schedule is favorable, maybe the East is down, maybe somebody, it sets up for you. Maybe you just have the right team, right? Every 2 to 3 years, you realistically compete to go to Atlanta and win an SEC title. I don't think that's asking too much. I really don't. With the resources you have, the facilities, the recruiting base you can pull from in the Southeast, the fan base you have, I don't think that's asking too much. So, and again, with Muschamp, the reason he got fired wasn't because he never hit 10 wins in a season. It's because he was going 4-8 and 2-8. I also think at South Carolina, the minimum expectation should be you should never miss a bowl game. There's way too many resources to miss a bowl game. And then somebody just commented, just be competitive consistently. Yeah, again, the other problem that Muschamp had, it wasn't just they were losing to Clemson. Hey, I understand it, bro. Clemson's on an unprecedented run. Georgia's doing what they're doing. Bro, we were getting blown out. Not even competitive in the games. That can't happen. You're showing no progress doing that. So, again, I don't think expectations are unrealistic, and especially with Beamer, coaching at South Carolina before, being a Gamecock, how much he loves this place and how much he wanted the job. I think fans will be patient with Shane Beamer because, listen, I think there's talent on this roster, but the defense needs a complete overhaul. You got to reestablish the culture. Right. You got to get your guys in there. But, we'll reevaluate and have those conversations when we get into year 3, 4, and 5. But, I think right now, dude, Shane Beamer can come in, bring a high-flying offense, and make game day fun. That's kind of what I said about Ole Miss. Ole Miss wasn't very good this year, but damn, they were fun to watch. They weren't good. Dude, year 1, I just want to see an entertaining product at this point. I just want to be excited for game day. And I think Beamer will bring that.
Honestly, I just started watching Ole Miss football because of Lane. Because I know that Lane is a high-flying type of coach. He can do all types of creative things.
Right.
I really wish we could have gotten Lane Kiffin. But, we got Shane, so we're going to have to ride with him. I just hope that we don't put all their expectations on him because of Spurrier. And just see what this kid this man can do. And I'm just hoping for the best. Because, honestly, I watched Carolina football, and I watched the first 5 to 6 minutes of it. If I get through a quarter, that's a miracle. Yeah. Because it's the same old thing. And it's just tired. It's just frustrating to know that I'm a truck driver and I try to make sure that I can watch the game. Right. And I can't even it's just demoralizing. It really, really is. It's just like, why can't we put a decent team on the field? Yeah. Hell, Kentucky's better than us. Yeah. Missouri is better than us.
Well, that's the Muschamp effect, man. Like I said, that's why I think Shane Beamer, like I said, is walking into a perfect situation because call it what it is. This fan base is beaten and battered and bruised and needs to be loved. You know what I mean? Like needs to be loved by somebody. And I'll say this too, as far as you keep drawing the Beamer and the Spurrier thing, and I think people realize Beamer's his own guy. He's not going to be Steve Spurrier. Steve Spurrier. Nobody's Steve Spurrier. You know what I mean? Beamer's his own guy. Let him develop. Let him evolve. And, he's going to evolve. This is his first head coaching gig. He's going to evolve and get better and learn and kind of come into his own. So, yeah, I fully expect, I don't think fans are going to make any unrealistic or unfair comparisons between, Beamer needs to do this as Spurrier did. Well, Beamer's not Steve Spurrier. Nobody is Steve Spurrier. So, and let me just say this. Because I was the one that went rogue saying fire Muschamp last year, and a fair amount of the fan base wanted to disown me. Now, obviously, they came around. Everything happened. But if our fan base is willing to be that patient with Will Muschamp, I'm not worried about them getting on Shane Beamer's neck too quick. I think he's going to be fine. If we can be patient with Muschamp, we can be patient with anybody. So I think he'll be fine.
That's true. Thank you for taking my call, and hey, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, thanks. You too. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, like I said, if our fan base is willing to ride out the Will Muschamp, and some people were still supporting up into the A&M game this year, like if people are that willing to be patient with Muschamp, Beamer's Gucci. He has nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. Eric Fryer, who got fired Tuesday during team run? I would love to know why you were asking that. Brian says we have to get rid of the culture of playing to the level of our opponent. Until this year, it was acting like a top 10 team against them, then lose to a no-name. Of course, this year we have lost to the Citadel again. Yeah, I feel like that's been a thing with Gamecock football forever. Somebody asked, by the way, is Shi Smith going to come back? No. He's already made it clear he's going to play in the Senior Bowl. Nah, Shi's done plenty. Shi's done plenty for South Carolina. I mean, the fact he even came back and played in the Kentucky game just spoke to the type of dude he is and the character he has. And no, Shi is 110% head of the league, which he should be. He should be. So. Let's see. Got less than 10 minutes left, guys. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Let's see. We have another call, ironically enough, from Blacksburg, South Carolina. Blacksburg.
Colby Parker.
Hey, Colby, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. I thought it was ironic you're calling from Blacksburg and we have a Beamer as head coach. I thought that was kind of funny.
It's Gaffney with the Peachoid, you know?
Oh, yeah. The area, it said Blacksburg on my caller, whatever it is.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm watching you right now on TV. It's kind of weird, but cool at the same time.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So I got a couple questions. Number one, so like each coach comes in with their own thing, like Spurrier with the Under Armour, and then you got Muschamp with the new facilities and the new Golden Cock and whatnot. You think Beamer gets Jordan for the boys?
I would love that. I don't want to like get my hopes up. I think it's almost kind of unrealistic because I think I'm pretty sure we're like in a contract with Under Armour and we've already bought out a coach. I doubt we buy out a brand too. But I mean, dude, I'd love it. I'd just love to even get Nike at this point. I mean, and I don't hate Under Armour necessarily, but like I know that how much better Nike would be. You know what I mean? It's just, and Jordan brand. I mean, I love Jordan, so Jordan would be sick. I mean, that would be dope. So.
I just think mostly like how we basically look identical to Auburn, and then you got Jordan and Nike making North Carolina look how they look with the rhombuses.
Yeah.
And
UNC's unis are incredible. Yeah, their unis are awesome.
Yeah, like they're a postmark. You know them when you see it. That's them. South Carolina, we look like another Under Armour team.
Mm.
But I'm
dude, that's going to be one of the fun. I'm probably going to have to do a podcast on it. One of the fun off-season conversations is what happens to the uniforms. Everybody loves to talk uniforms. I personally, man, I haven't said this on the record yet till now. I hate to say it because I love the uniforms that we wore this year. I thought they were dope. They were actually uniform. The stripes all matched and all that. I hope we never wear them again, except the throwbacks, because when I look at them, that's the Muschamp uni. And I want to just completely start anew. I'd love for them to go back to, honestly, I'm a big believer in everything I do. Like you see like the merch too, simplicity, less is more. Take me back to the 05 and 06 Spurrier unis with just the block C on the shoulder, big Carolina across the front with the numbers, white garnet white on at home, white on the road. You can mix it up a little, but like have that be like the base uni to me. And go back to the original helmet. So I don't know. That's just my preference. I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah.
Oh yeah. So how you feel about the big reason I wanted Hugh Freeze to come to us is just because I know he's most likely going to go to a Tennessee or somebody that will have to play every year. And I would have much rather us dealt with him than somebody else have him and we have to face him every year, because my God, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, here's my biggest thing, though. If he'd have came to South Carolina, there's nothing to say he wouldn't have jumped in 2 or 3 years for the Tennessee or the Auburn job. And that was – and again, it may have worked out. Hugh Freeze may have come here and had great success, but I don't know, man. Again, I just keep going back to this is everybody was going to be a roll of the dice. And again, I'm kind of glad we didn't go with Freeze. I'm actually very glad we didn't go with Freeze because that's who everybody expected us to go get. And so I kind of like that we thought outside the box and we didn't go with a retread hire that had already been somewhere else. And, roll the dice. And if you're going to roll the dice one of your own. I've been saying that all week, and I'll keep on saying, if you're going to roll the dice, man, I'm going to take a chance with somebody that bleeds the Gamecock blood versus just some random dude who South Carolina's not his dream. Hugh Freeze would just take South Carolina to get back in the SEC. That wouldn't be his last stop.
Yep.
So, I'm glad we got Beamer. Again, I understand the risks, and he's never been a head coach and all that stuff. But if you're going to roll the dice, man, roll the dice for one of your own. I'm happy with it. So.
Well, I mean, the one reason I like Beamer, and I don't think really anybody's really talked about it, but, I mean, people understand it, is that you've got a guy, and you as a player know that the best type of players are the guys that sit back and listen and take what everyone says. He's been sitting under legends his whole career, like since he was born. His dad, the Oklahoma coach, Kirby Smart, all the other ones, I can't really think of them off the top of my head. And he's just been sitting, listening, understanding. Spurrier, just taking notes, understanding, and now you've not only got him for cheap, but you've got his dad in his corner as well. Like, you just hired a legendary coach's son who's going to be present, and you've got his kid living through his legacy. So, I mean, it's something that can be sculpted into something fantastic for us, and for really cheap, and you can get the best coordinators money can buy at the moment. I mean, it's a good opportunity for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. No, I agree for sure, man. I echo all your sentiments. And now I'm excited for Beamer, man. I'm excited. And I'm really excited to see who he brings in as the coordinators. Again, I think he's going to try to go after big-time guys. So I would fully expect that. But no, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped for the future of Shane Beamer. And again, who knows? It might not work out, but it might. You know what I mean? So we have hope once again. Hope is restored in Columbia. That's all we can really ask for. But we're going to wrap it up here in about 2 minutes, man. But I appreciate the call for sure.
All right, man. Appreciate it. If not, just give Dawn Staley a headset and say, screw it.
Yeah, why not? Just let her take over all the sports.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. Good talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Going to wrap it up. We got about 2 minutes left. Trace, the podcast will drop. So the podcast actually drops at 5 a.m. if you guys didn't know that. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube comes out so people can hear on their morning commute. But we'll do this again. Noon to 1. The Daily Crow is every single day, noon to 1. The only reason it wasn't yesterday was because of Shane Beamer's presser. So noon to 1, Monday through Friday, every single day we are getting after it. Eric Fryer said, I don't want to see us in a bowl game, not until Beamer has a chance to come in and have some impact and evaluation. I don't want the taint of the Muschamp shit show tainting anything Beamer does. I will say this, guys. I will say kind of last thing wrapping up. I talked to one of my guys that works in the building that I'm buddies with that works for USC. He's in the building, so this is coming from a pretty good source. He is saying that he feels like we probably will play in a bowl game because they're going to use that bowl game money to help pay the buyout, which, you know what? When he told me that, I was like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. So, Beamer's not going to coach the bowl game. I'd love the additional reps for Luke and, whatever. So if we play, we play. If we don't, we don't. It kind of is what it is to me. It don't really bother me either way. We'll see. You know what? And I told somebody this yesterday. Selfishly, from a content creator perspective, I hope we do play in a bowl game because I'd love to be able to preview another game. I'd love to be able to cover another game. Why not? You know what I mean? As bad as we've been this season, nobody's going to say no to watching more Gamecock football. So, Eric Fryer, Sling Blade for funniest caller. Yeah, well, I'll have to add that in there. Let's see. Lance Player, appreciate you tuning in, man. Dusty803, appreciate it. Nick Stedman says, with a shortened season, I wouldn't mind another game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As bad as we are, bro, we could lose all of them, but getting to watch Gamecock football is a blessing. Why not? Let's see. Trace, appreciate the support, man. Again, going to wrap it up. We got about 20 seconds left, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. The love, support again. If you have not done so, check out the podcast that dropped today, this morning, episode 334. Alex McGrath and I talking about the Kentucky game, the 2020 season as a whole, the Shane Beamer hiring, of course. We break all of that down. obviously shows throughout all this week. The Daily Crow returns tomorrow, noon to 1. And, of course, quick reminder, tsus.store. We just dropped the Shane Storm shirts. Merch is rolling right now, guys. If you need some fresh new Gamecocks merch, we've got it. tsus.store. All of your Shane Train, Beamer Ball, Shane Storm shirts. It's all there, guys. Go support Shane Beamer as a new era of Gamecock football begins, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we'll do it tomorrow, noon to 1. Tomorrow, all throughout the week, we will get after it. Noon to 1 tomorrow, guys. We'll talk then. Thanks so much.